What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to yet another Blu-ray haul. And, oh boy. Check this out. I'm, like, struggling to keep up with this, but, it's a pretty big stack in front of me. And I'm going to talk about all of these with you guys right now. So yeah, these are in no particular order. I got a lot of these on sale. A lot of these were really cheap, so I'm just kind of filling out my shelf right here behind me. If you guys enjoy my content, once again, if you're new, thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If any of you guys are new here, welcome. Please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can so you don't miss out on any of my future updates on Blu-ray hauls, reviews, anything like that. And please be sure to leave a big fat thumbs up on this video by the end if you enjoy it. But, oh boy, let's start talking about all these movies. Again, no particular order. I'm just going to kind of go through them one by one. I kind of got these from various outlets, Disney Movie Club, Amazon. I got most of these on sale price. I haven't even counted how many are in this stack, but I'm pretty much just going to go through them one by one. If you guys want to see reviews of any of these movies, go ahead and leave those thoughts down in the comments section below. A lot of these are also blind buys, so if you guys recommend any of these, definitely let me know what you guys thought of them down in the comments, too. Alright, just kind of jumping right into it. First movie up is a movie I actually already own on Blu-ray. It's the 4K edition of The Lion King, one of my favorite Disney animated classics. If you guys saw my Disney podcast with my girlfriend earlier on, I put this at number 6. Very, very controversial spot for this, I'll say that. Growing up, this was my favorite Disney animated film, but as I've gotten older, I kind of noticed the flaws with it, especially the botched delivery of the message in confronting your past. But I mean, it's still a solid film. I still go back and rewatch this every so often. Definitely a lot more than the remake, and especially with the announcement of them coming out with a sequel to that Lion King remake. Man, I don't know what to think. I didn't hate the Lion King remake. It just, a lot of people really, really did not enjoy it. And I mean, honestly, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's almost like you're going to see a Broadway play, and you're like, say you want to go see Les Miserables, and you go to see the original thing, and you love it, but you go to see the Broadway revival also because it's Les Miserables. That's kind of how I felt going into some of these Disney remakes, like Beauty and the Beast especially, and even this one. And honestly, I did not hate the Lion King remake, but this is still the superior film of the two. I'm glad I have it on 4K now. And speaking of properties that now belong to Disney, The Book of Life. A lot of people have told me that I need to watch this movie, and I still have not yet. Still in the plastic, actually. I cannot wait to check this movie out. A lot of Day of the Dead themes, very similar to Coco, and this movie actually came out before Coco. And I remember when I was working the movie theaters when Coco actually came out, and a lot of people actually likened it to this movie, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. Alright, and last the Disney film in this batch is actually a two-parter, Atlantis the Lost Empire and Milo's Return. Another one I haven't seen. This is one of those Disney films that came out in the early 2000s and kind of overlooked because Pixar was just... This is very similar to like a Lilo and Stitch and Treasure Planet, and like it's kind of like the lost batch of Disney movies. I'm definitely excited to check this one out for sure, especially with the rumors of a remake coming out with Tom Holland as Milo. Perfect casting if I say so myself. But of course you have Michael J. Fox in this movie, so it's bound to be good, right? Alright, these next two movies kind of have a theme to it, and with the things that were going on in California, especially over the summer, I think very appropriate that these are firefighter-based movies. First one up is Backdrafts. You know, my dad told me that I needed to watch this movie because it's probably the best firefighter movie they've ever come out with. It's directed by Ron Howard, starring a humongous cast, actually. Kurt Russell, Donald Sutherland, Robert De Niro, Jennifer Jason Leigh. A lot of really talented people, and I actually went through and watched this, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite movie ever, but it's definitely quite solid. I really like Ron Howard's direction in this. If you haven't seen Backdrafts, definitely give this one a look. Speaking of firefighter movies, we have Only the Brave. Again, another really strong cast. Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, Jeff Bridges, Jennifer Connelly. Really, really strong cast. I remember this came out in 2017, back again when I was working at the movie theater. And I remember really wanting to see this, and I never had the opportunity to. So I'm finally glad to own this on Blu-ray. I'm finally going to get a chance to check this one out. I can't wait, because I've heard so much praise about this movie. Even the back of the box says, inspiring, unforgettable, and powerful. Got rave reviews, so I can't wait to pop this one in. And these next two kind of have a theme to it as well, in regards to the star. So the first one up in this pair is Liar Liar, starring Jim Carrey as a lawyer who has to tell the truth. This concept sounds very similar to Yes Man, which was directed by Peyton Reed, in that Jim Carrey always has to say yes to people, but here he always has to tell the truth, and he plays a lawyer who is a pathological liar. Can't wait to pop this one in. It's really, really, really strong. Speaking of really strong Jim Carrey star vehicles, you have The Truman Show. I love this movie. It was so good. It is such a unique concept, and Jim Carrey, of course, phenomenal in this film. And next we kind of have a batch of fun movies coming up. We have Clue, starring Tim Curry as the butler, based on the board game, of course. You want to talk about underrated. This movie was so fun. As a big fan of whodunits, I might be a little bit biased, but all these alternate endings that Clue comes up with, it's almost like a choose-your-own-adventure type movie in a lot of ways. But if you've never seen Clue, and I know a lot of people that haven't, definitely give this one a watch. Speaking of fun movies, The Happening. This movie's terrible, but man, entertaining as hell. Hey, what's going on all over here? All these trees, these bees are flying all over the place. Come on, guys, take an interest in science. Mark Wahlberg. I'm not very good at impressions, but I enjoy doing them. Bad movie. Entertaining as hell, though. M. Night Shyamalan has certainly come a long way from putting out trash like this. And rounding out the really fun movie batch, you have probably the most famous Thanksgiving movie of all time, not named The Nightmare Before Christmas, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and John Candy. Hand up, I've actually never seen this movie. And I know a lot of people really, really love it. And honestly, just reading about the concept and just reading about John Candy's performance and his character in this, I feel like one little subplot in Home Alone took a lot from this movie. It's also directed by John Hughes, who is someone I love. I know, I love John Hughes. I can't believe I've never seen this movie either. I can't wait to finally pop this in. I think Thanksgiving is a perfect time to pop this in. Next movie up is another thriller starring Liam Neeson, The Grey. This is set in the Alaskan wilderness, a setting I absolutely love, and Liam Neeson is fighting a pack of wolves in this. Again, another blind buy. It was cheap. I really dig this concept. I can't wait to check this out. Here's a movie I really love. This is completing my set of Martin McDonagh films in this collection, In Bruges. If you guys have never seen In Bruges, you guys are really missing out. Incredible leading performances from Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Ralph Fiennes. And this movie is just so well written and so well directed as well. Give this a watch if you haven't seen it before. Next movie up, a lot of people call the best horror film of the 20-teens. It Follows. I really loved It Follows. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying this is the best horror film of the last decade, but it's certainly up there for sure. If you guys have never seen It Follows, you guys are really missing out. This is a really creepy, tense horror film. Alright, kind of getting to this last batch of movies. I've got a couple of box sets here at the bottom, and I've got a couple of old school movies down here, because I have read some of your comments on my last Blu-ray haul last month. And a lot of you told me I needed a lot more old school movies in my collection, and I agree with you. And we're starting off this old school section with The Bridge on the River Kwai. I've heard nothing but good things about this movie. I've never seen it before. Again, I know you guys are probably gonna murder me for saying that, but this is the Best Picture winner of the year 1957. 1957? Yeah, 1957. This is the one that beat out 12 Angry Men. So I'm definitely curious to check this one out and seeing if that holds up, because 12 Angry Men is one of my favorite movies. So, we'll see. Bridge on River Kwai. I finally have it. Speaking of old school, may he rest in peace. Good Morning Vietnam, starring Robin Williams. A lot of people said that this is the role that put Robin Williams on the map in cinema. And honestly, I won't argue against that. Since this movie came out, and since Robin Williams' star-turning performance, he has since become an icon. And may he rest in peace. I miss him every day. Can't wait to watch this. Speaking of classics, are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball! There's no crying in baseball! No crying! Yeah, League of Their Own. Tom Hanks, Madonna, Gina Davis. Can't really go wrong. One of the best baseball movies ever made. Alright, these last two are actually two separate box sets of two separate trilogies. The first one is probably the best collection of spaghetti westerns ever made. Man with No Name Trilogy. Fistful of dollars for a few dollars more, and of course, the final one in the trilogy, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which a lot of people say is the best spaghetti western ever made. And honestly, I don't doubt that. Clint Eastwood as Blondie here, iconic. To go along with that incredible, incredible score by Ennio Morricone. May he rest in peace. Can't wait to check these out. Last but not least is probably my favorite pickup in terms of just the looks of this thing. It's really, really awesome. It's the Oceans Trilogy Collection. These are the reboot of the franchise directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring with Ocean's 11, which I honestly consider one of the best remakes ever made. It's not the strongest trilogy ever. I think for me it obviously goes in terms of best to worst. I think it goes 11, then 13, and then 12. I was honestly kind of bored by a lot of 12, to be quite honest. 13 was honestly a lot of fun with Al Pacino as the villain. But this cast is just so strong. George Clooney, I mean, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, just excellent performances across the board. And this is a really, really nice box set, too. Of course, you have Ocean's Trilogy Collection and 11, 12, 13 embossed. Here's your spine. That's how it looks on your shelf. And then there's the back. It says, are you in or out? And honestly, I really, really love the look of this thing on the back here. Of course, you open it up and then you have your normal, like, you have your normal case right here. But what's really cool is they also included this little box right here. It has a nice little deck of cards and a set of Ocean's Trilogy Collection dice right here. This is just a really, really cool collector's item. I'm really, really happy to finally add the Ocean's Trilogy into the collection. Really, really strong trilogy. Steven Soderbergh is an excellent director. If you haven't seen this trilogy, definitely very strong. I definitely recommend Ocean's 11 for sure. And for those of you curious, I have not seen Ocean's 8 yet. So, if you guys, if any of you guys have seen Ocean's 8, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. I'm really curious. But yeah, that's pretty much this was a massive haul this month. Here is the entire stack once again. Just, man, can you tell I love physical media? Thank you guys so much once again for clicking on the video and tuning in as always. If you guys are enjoying my content so far, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can so you guys can be the first to know whenever one of my new videos hits. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a big fat thumbs up on it on your way out. And if you guys want to see reviews of any of these movies on the channel, of course, I am taking any and all requests, so feel free to let me know if you guys want to see any of these reviews all down in the comments section below, and I want to discuss your thoughts on all these movies all down there. Guys, you all are the best. Thank you all so much for tuning in as always. Look forward to more fun content coming to the channel very soon. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.